Welcome to the Deep Dive channel, where we explore the depths of the human mind and the truths that shape who we are. There's a part of you that you never show. You hide it behind control, politeness, and performance. You try to silence it because it feels dark, irrational, or dangerous. But it's still there, always watching, always waiting. Carl Jung called this hidden part the shadow. He believed that every human being carries it, a secret world of everything we refuse to acknowledge about ourselves. It's made of the emotions we were told were unacceptable: anger, jealousy, desire, fear, shame, pride. These are the pieces we bury to appear good, successful, or spiritual. But the psyche doesn't delete what it represses. It hides it deep in the unconscious. And the more we reject it, the more it finds other ways to express itself, through projection, conflict, or self-sabotage. That's why you might find yourself repeating painful patterns, reacting too strongly, or criticizing traits in others that you secretly carry within. Jung wrote, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." In other words, what we refuse to face doesn't disappear, it takes control from the dark. The shadow is not your enemy. It's a part of your wholeness. It is the doorway to authenticity and creative energy. But most people never walk through it because they mistake the dark for danger. Jung believed that true growth begins not when we chase the light, but when we learn to meet the darkness with awareness. The shadow contains everything you fear and everything you've lost. To deny it is to deny half of yourself. The shadow doesn't appear as a voice or a thought. It speaks through emotion. It lives in the jealousy you feel but never admit, in the harsh judgment that flares up unexpectedly, in the little acts of self-sabotage you can't explain. Jung discovered that our unconscious traits don't just stay hidden, they project outward. This is called psychological projection, and it's how the psyche tries to show us what we're not ready to see directly. We spot in others what we've buried in ourselves. The friend whose arrogance infuriates you might reflect your own unexpressed confidence. The colleague who seems lazy might mirror your unacknowledged exhaustion. Projection is uncomfortable because it exposes what our conscious ego refuses to own. But it's also a gift. The world becomes a mirror that helps us see ourselves. Life keeps sending us the same patterns until we recognize the lesson behind them. When we resist the shadow, we become prisoners of it. We repeat situations, attract similar people, and stay trapped in cycles that feel like fate. Jung said that until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. To face the shadow is to stop blaming others for our inner conflict. It's to take responsibility for what lives in our own depths. This is not about guilt, it's about integration. The moment we admit, yes, this is part of me too, we reclaim power from the unconscious. The shadow hides not only our shame, but also our power, the assertiveness we suppressed, the creativity we silenced, the passion we were told was too much. When we accept these exiled energies, they stop controlling us and start fueling us. The goal is not perfection, it's wholeness. From childhood, we learn which sides of ourselves are rewarded and which bring punishment. We're told that being kind, helpful, and calm makes us lovable. But anger, sadness, selfishness, or defiance lead to rejection. To survive, we build a mask, what Jung called the persona, a socially acceptable self that hides what we think is unworthy. We spend years polishing this mask. It helps us fit in, succeed, even earn admiration. But beneath it lies everything unexpressed. The more perfect the mask, the heavier the shadow behind it. Eventually, the shadow leaks through. It shows up in the exhaustion of trying to please everyone, in emotional outbursts that seem unlike us, or in a quiet emptiness after every achievement. The child who learned that love must be earned becomes the adult who can never rest. Jung compared this to living only half a life. The parts we deny become the ghosts that haunt our decisions. Facing the shadow requires humility, the courage to admit that we are both kind and cruel, both strong and afraid. The goal is not to erase the mask, but to see through it. You don't have to destroy the persona. You just have to stop believing it's all you are. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The shadow is not evil, it's human. It carries the emotions that keep us alive, if only we have the courage to meet them." When you look into your darkness without judgment, you discover that what you feared most was never the enemy. It was a forgotten part of your wholeness, calling you home. So, how do we live with this knowledge? How do we bring the shadow into the light without being overwhelmed by it? The first step is awareness. Notice your strongest emotional reactions: irritation, envy, defensiveness. These are doors to the unconscious. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with them?" ask, "What is this showing me about myself?" The second step is honesty. Write, reflect, or talk to someone safe about what you actually feel, not what you think you should feel. Admit when you're jealous, afraid, or controlling. The shadow loses its grip the moment you stop lying to yourself. The third step is expression. Give the shadow a creative outlet. Turn your anger into movement, your sadness into art, your fear into focus. Repressed energy is destructive. Expressed energy is transformative. The fourth step is compassion. Integration isn't about fixing yourself. It's about understanding yourself. The shadow's purpose is to protect you from pain. When you meet it with empathy instead of shame, it begins to trust you. Jung called this process individuation, the lifelong work of becoming whole. It's not about being flawless, but about living authentically, guided by awareness rather than repression. As light and dark reconcile, the inner war quiets. What was once hidden becomes strength. Walking toward the shadow doesn't make you darker. It makes you real. So what does this mean for us, right now, in our modern lives? We live in a world obsessed with image, a world that rewards performance and punishes vulnerability. But pretending to be all light makes us hollow. Facing our shadow makes us human. The next time you feel triggered, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what part of me feels unseen here? When you envy someone, ask, what desire in me are they showing? When you feel anger, look for the boundary that's been crossed. When shame appears, remind yourself, this is just a feeling asking to be accepted. The shadow is not a curse, it's a teacher. Each uncomfortable moment is a lesson in self-awareness. Integration happens in small, ordinary moments, in honest conversations, in journaling before sleep, in choosing compassion over judgment. The more we make peace with our darkness, the freer we become. When you stop fearing your shadow, you stop fearing yourself. That's when creativity returns, connection deepens, life feels fuller. Carl Jung believed that healing the individual heals the collective. The world changes when enough of us stop projecting our shadows onto others and start meeting them within. So tonight, take one quiet moment, close your eyes, ask yourself, what am I still running from? And what if it's not here to destroy me, but to make me whole. Thank you for diving deep with us today. If this message spoke to you, subscribe, like, and share, not just to support the channel, but to join a community committed to conscious growth and emotional truth. Every view, every comment, every subscriber helps spread self-understanding in a world that desperately needs it. Stay thoughtful, stay curious, and keep diving deeper, because the light you seek has always lived in the dark.